Good morning. This is Joe Pryor with the virtualrealestateteam.com in Oklahoma City. It's Monday, the day after Mother's Day. I hope you enjoyed that day yesterday with your mother, or if your mother is gone, as mine is, then I hope you had fond memories of the good times. But today is a day of business, and the news this morning, if you're reading msn.com or yahoo.com as your homepage or watching television, is that the foreclosure crisis is getting worse again, that more and more people are now underwater, and that the foreclosure process is gaining steam. Now, for those of us who have really focused on this in the last 3 or 4 years and do short sales, as my team does, and we hear this is not like some huge news. We knew there was a large shadow inventory. We knew that many of the states in the United States were judicial states like Oklahoma, where a year or more may go by before something goes into foreclosure, and that, as I've said before, these chickens are now coming home to roost. And so the foreclosure crisis is by far not over, and I even believe that what they're saying, well, now we're going to extend the problem to the end of 2012, is still a bit optimistic. We still have a lot of adjustable rates, negative AMs, things like that are coming due this year in a large number. So I don't think even by the end of 2013, unless we come up with some remarkable programs, that this is going to happen. Now, in that MSN article that I read, they gave some various things that you can do to try to avoid foreclosure. And of course, we know at this point that 80% of you are not trying to avoid foreclosure. At least we can't see that you're trying, with the possibility of something like a short sale. And that you're going into foreclosure. Maybe you tried a loan modification, but maybe you didn't. Maybe you're just have given up, and maybe there's just too much debt for you to even consider things. But in that MSN article, they gave some good advice. They talked about credit counselors, which, if you have a job and you need to get yourself on solid footing because your debt level is too high, could possibly help. They talked about HUD credit counseling, which is free. Also a very, very good idea. They also talked about talking to your lender. And this is huge because people just kind of are afraid at this point. Oh my God, they're going to be mad at me. But you're getting somebody at a fairly low level getting a hold of you. And what you want to do is you want to step it up. You want them to get to you and say, this is what your alternatives are. And you want to ask for a supervisor or somebody that can help you out. So talking to your lender is a very, very good idea. Now, they also talked about using services that don't charge you up front, and many don't. Well, they're a little behind the curve on that because no one can charge you an upfront fee anymore to try to help you out of foreclosure. This is something that no service has been rendered yet, and so you don't want to be paying these people money. Now, what disturbed me about the article is that two of the main things that people are doing right now, which is a short sale, or if a short sale doesn't work out, a deed in lieu if you only have one mortgage, and not a lot of third-party liens that are on the property. Those are things that also should be thrown into the mix. Now, I'm going to make another recommendation to you. I'm going to recommend that you talk to a realtor that is an expert in short sales and workouts. Now, my company certainly is one that does that. We have an over 90% success rate, which is a large success rate. Honestly, if you hear somebody saying they have a 100% success rate, they may have done one short sale and they got lucky, or they just may not be telling the truth. There's no way that you have perfection in this business. There's a lot of issues that we have to deal with when it comes to foreclosure. But if you talk to a professional, if you talk to somebody that knows the drill, knows how to do a short sale, the thing that you're going to find out is that they're going to counsel you about your alternatives. They're going to talk about refinancing. They're going to talk about forbearance programs. They're going to talk about home modifications or mortgage modifications. And they're going to try, and we are going to try to work in your best interest. If there's a way that we can keep you in your home and you don't have to leave and it doesn't have a negative impact on you in the future, if you're not just kicking the can down the road, my gosh, that's what really we want to do. If you have equity in your home, and there's a possibility of getting you out without doing a short sale, and you need to cut expenses, and that housing thing is just really eating you up alive, we're going to tell you about that. We're going to give you all the intelligent information that you need to make an informed decision. One thing we're never going to do is say, look, hey, just quit making your payments. It's okay. It's not okay. And you know it's not okay. You signed on to make those payments, and it's not something that we ever recommend that you do. Now, you're going to make some very hard choices. For instance, if you cannot put gas in your car, if you cannot buy food for your family, there's a real problem there. Then that house is truly eating you up alive, and you need to think about things. If you have debt that's beyond belief, we're going to get you in contact with possibly not just a credit counselor, but a bankruptcy attorney. That doesn't stop a foreclosure, doesn't eliminate a foreclosure, but you just have maybe too many problems. So the essence of this is explore all your alternatives. And what I'm going to try to do is try to detach you a little bit from your emotions. I know you're distressed. I know you're worried. But I also know that you probably love the house that you're in. And so it's very, very hard for you to take that emotion out of the decision that you make. Extremely difficult, but we're going to try to do that. Because what we want is the best thing to happen for you and for your family. And a house is just a house. In fact, with a short sale, you may get a better house at a better deal 2 years down the road. You may get rid of something that may have been a bad decision, or you may be in a situation beyond your control, like with job loss or medical problems, and you just really absolutely need to lighten the load. But talk to a real estate professional who has your best interests at heart, that does not charge any upfront fees, has been here before, is well trained, and is dedicated to serving you. And that is my advice for you today, the day after Mother's Day. I hope life is better for all of us. I hope employment keeps going up in the United States, because this is a great country and we're going to get through this crisis. And my team, the virtualrealestateteam.com in Oklahoma City, is here to help.